Good afternoon and welcome. Australian Junior Ice Hockey League gold medal game. The Sydney Sabres against the Adelaide Generals, O'Brien Icehouse in Melbourne. Before we start, we would like to acknowledge and respect the traditional custodians of the land these two teams meet on today, the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation. We pay our respects to elders past and present and extend that respect to all Indigenous people playing today. I'm Eric Brook and alongside me is John D. We've just had an interesting bronze medal game, the Sydney Wolfpack winning that one against the Brisbane Blitz 7-4. This game, mate, could produce anything.
Look, that game was truly spectacular, and with these two teams coming in for the gold medal, anything's possible. We could see a blowout, we could see another 1-0 game. We just don't know, and I guess we'll find out in 45 minutes of gameplay, I guess.
And just to recap how both of these teams got here, the Sydney Sabres, they had a rather excellent win against the Blitz, winning 3-2 yesterday. And the Adelaide Generals, it took them until a minute 14 of game time remaining when Zach Steele, he nailed the game-winning goal, winning 1-0 against the Wolfpack.
He most certainly did, and what a moment that was, because everybody thought that was going to overtime. Zach Steele saved the day for the Generals, lost the day for the Wolfpack.
So we'll cross to ice level shortly. Our referees are on the ice, and we have a look at our officials. Our referees, Mark Peruzio and Jeff Clinic. On the lines, Hayden Rogers and Hamish Young. We're about to pause for the Australian National Anthem.
Hockey fans, please be upstanding and remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem.
The anthem has been played. The Adelaide Generals in their alternative red strip, playing against the Sydney Sabres in their predominantly black outfit. So some of the Adelaide Generals numbers have changed from yesterday. I am expecting, however, Jeremy Friedrich, he was so good in that yesterday, JD, in jersey number 1, as we have a look at the Adelaide Generals huddle.
Look, he had an absolute blinder of a game yesterday, stopping every goal. There's nothing to say they're not going to restart that guy again today. They'd be silly not to after the effort that he's put in.
So the Adelaide Generals there, they finished 4th in the regular season. The Sydney Sabres, they finished in 3rd position. Yesterday, just having a look at the special teams and the shots and everything like that, the Sabres outshot the Brisbane Blitz 36-27. And they got the only power play goal of the afternoon yesterday. And they had some goal scorers in the form of Noah and Thomas Moncrief and Daniel Sables, as we go back to centre ice. Just about ready for the start of this game. 2 fantastic games yesterday to decide who gets to this point. The bronze medal game was good as well, and the gold medal game, the Adelaide Generals in red, Sydney Sabres in black. We're just about ready for a start.
And I tell you what, say what you want, those Generals alternate strips, they look amazing. They look really good. The gold with the gold trim on the red, I love it.
Handberg will take the start for the Generals. All the way back now. Generals with it now, working down their left-hand side through Pope. All the way back down to the Generals defensive end. Friedrich in net for the Generals. Working it down their right-hand side. Sabres now looking to attack, but they haven't got good puck possession. Now they have. Can they keep it in the zone? Yes, they can. They keep it in the zone via Wilson. Sabres now looking to set up early stages of the gold medal game. The Nathan Walker Trophy up for grabs at the end of this one. They have to turn and chase now. And it's Connor Smith with the puck briefly. Just transferring to the other side to Andrew Chen. Right near the Zamboni door, and the Generals player losing the stick up against the boards there in the corner near the scoreboard. The Sabres did well keeping it in the zone via Irwis. Shot that was right into the glove there of Friedrich. As a good shot there from Connor Schultz.
And this young Connor Schultz, he's got a hell of a lot of potential, this kid. We've seen him play up at the AOI level, where he played for the North Stars a couple of games during the last season. He really stepped it up, just showing a lot of potential, and we've seen that from him this weekend as well in the game he played yesterday.
Attacking zone face-off coming up for the Sabres. Taking possession is Thomas Moncrief. Got a valuable goal yesterday for them. He's the leading goal scorer, the leading points and assists. Fires a shot across the face of goal. Nobody in black could connect. On the attack now are the Generals. Getting sent wide was Matuk. In the corner at the South Pole end. Great crowd Sunday afternoon. Finals hockey in the AJ. Thomas Moncrief losing possession. Generals with it, firing. Shot went wide there by Maley. On the attack now, Noah Moncrief trying to fire. Just found the shins of the player in red. It was a good work there by Clark, getting his body in the way of that one. Leaving the defensive zone, trying to Clark. Risky cross-ice pass if there was somebody there in black who intercepted. They do a good job, Sabres, keeping it in the attacking zone. Under some pressure, penalty coming. Generals touch up. Penalty box door will be opening. Hooking the call, and the Sabres will be first on the power play. John D.
They most certainly will. You don't want to give up that power play this early, especially in a gold medal game. Especially against the Sabres.
Andrew Chen sitting in the penalty box. 2 minutes for the hook.
Give him a chance to think about what he's done. Hopefully come back after 2 minutes, not a minute less.
An attacking zone face-off and a power play coming up for the Sabres. It's the left-hand side now, under some pressure. The Generals just get the puck out of there all the way back down. Sabres working it out of their own defensive end. The Generals providing some resistance. Sabres players thinking about coming off for a change. Good work there by Rippon. Neutral ice, they have to come back via Irwis. Irwis now delivering the puck on the right-hand side, entering the zone. Rippon attacking the net. Rippon there loses his stick at the last minute, so he just has to use some soccer skills. Irwis a point-blank range, pull the trigger, but it was a good save there by Friedrich, and we have a whistle.
That we certainly do, and some of the players are very confused as to why, and it looks like we're getting another visitor to the terrarium of shame.
Yes, we certainly are heading over towards the penalty box. What this brings a 5-on-3 as Connor Smith sits in the penalty box. He's leading in penalty minutes for the Generals.
And this is definitely not the position you want to be in if you're the Generals. You don't want to have that two-man disadvantage this early in the game. Your own end of the ice. This could potentially spell disaster for the men in red.
And this is also a long period of 5-on-3 too, JD, with 1:23 on the clock on 5-on-3. Working the left-hand side now. Thomas Moncrief on the blue line, leaving it now for the Sabres. Smith sitting for tripping. Right-hand pass, trying to find Irwis on the right-hand circle. They're on the attack. The Sabres working down low. Just looking for some options left and right. Friedrich going left and right as the puck does so as well. Somehow the Generals got a hold of that one and just flung it the hell out of there, and they have to turn and chase all the way back down. Good work there by Irwis, avoiding the man in the red shirt. Irwis now looking to go towards the right, centering pass. Couldn't quite connect cleanly with Thomas Moncrief. Right-hand circle now. Great pressure in defence there. Some awesome work in defence there by the Generals. Sabres still have it. 5-on-3 for 25 seconds. Shot goes high, wide, and handsome of Friedrich. No action required, and the rebound is sent it out of the attacking zone. All the way back down. Just watchful with the paddle. You have to get back into your net, Dale Tilstead, and that's exactly what he's done. So Tilstead in net for the Sabres, as he was yesterday. Just getting sent wide the Sabres. Noah Moncrief now. Just walking the blue line, firing in. Friedrich just deflecting that puck hard into the corner. On the attack, the Generals have got one player back, so they've got the player disadvantage now for 25 seconds, and they get the puck out of there. So far, so good on the PK for the Generals. Thomas Moncrief again has got a lot of ice to work with down that right-hand side, trying to squeeze himself through a hole. Got to the hole, saved that rather well there. O'Handley getting involved. Back now, Generals flinging it out. Power play just about over. And then we'll be back to 5-on-5 hockey. 10:20 remaining in the first. Sabres and Generals 0-0 gold medal game in the AJ. Back now for the Sabres. Up against the boards. Reinforcements arriving from both teams. The Generals do a good job of keeping it in the attacking zone, albeit briefly. Back now, firing. It was a good shot there from Schultz. Sent wide into the corner there by Friedrich. All the way back down. They're on the charge. The Generals. All the way back into the corner at the South Pole end. Generals looking to attack now. Up against the boards near both penalty boxes, which are empty for the moment. Attacking is Connor Bolger. Getting sent wide into the corner by Cameron Pope. All the way back down General's defensive end. They did a really good job on that penalty kill, John D.
They most certainly did, and that save that we just saw from Friedrich is exactly what we were talking about yesterday. Play the puck with the deflection, but don't just hit it off willy-nilly. He knew where it was going. He knew it was going to that safe corner.
And play has been stopped there as a Adelaide Generals player. He got half over the wall. Now he's getting told to go towards the penalty box. Zach Steele sitting in the penalty box for 2 minutes. He was the hero yesterday, Zach Steele, with the game-winning goal with 1:14 remaining.
Well, now he gets to go and watch the game for 2 minutes, sitting in the penalty box.
Attacking zone face-off and a power play coming up for the Sabres.
Eventually.
So Sabres on the attack. 9:06 remaining in the first period. Still 0-0 in the gold medal game. Helpful paddle from Friedrich, which went away. A late hit against Zach Steele. All the way back down. Helpful paddle there by Tilstead. Basically eliminated the need for one player back there. Arriving on the scene is Sabres. Centre ice. The Sabres now. Entering the zone, weaving his way through traffic, firing, scoring. He did it all by himself. He got a goal yesterday, and he's got the opening goal in the gold medal game. Power play goal.
And that's the first one that's gotten past our friend Mr. Friedrich so far this weekend.
Maybe it was fitting that it was the captain, and also fitting that they end up celebrating in front of the penalty box with the opposition. Great work from one end of the ice to the other.
Yep.
You had no right to score that.
No, none at all. But you know what? He's done it. He's on the scoreboard. Good job there, Mr. Sables.
1-0 to the guys in black and blue. Noah Moncrief now entering the attacking zone. Generals now trying to clear it out. Thomas Moncrief has something to say about that on the half ball. Underneath the scoreboard where the Sabres lead 1-0 against the Generals. Lots of hockey in this one. Just clearing it out now. The Generals going for a skate down centre ice. Getting forced wide is Handberg, the leading goal scorer for the Generals in the regular season. Sabres just trying to clear it out. Pass takes a little bit of a ricochet off Andrew Chen. All the way back down to the Zamboni door end, and another penalty coming. Someone's left the puck behind. Delayed penalty coming up for the Generals as the Sabres touch up, and the Generals, JD, almost called you Alyssa, sorry.
No, that's not who I am.
They will go on the power play.
They certainly will, and at this point, that's what they need and want. They're going to get that advantage. They're 1 point down, again, not an insurmountable gap by any stretch of the imagination, but, any chance to get one up over the Sabres, it's going to help him get back in the game.
Thomas Moncrief in the cube of shame.
He certainly is. Off you go, Thomas, having some things to say and maybe said them a little too loudly and physically.
Attacking zone face-off and power play coming up now for the Generals, working on the power play on the right hand side. Some good work by Cameron Pope initially on the power play, just setting up, winding up, selecting power drive. Whoosh, Ben Handberg, thank you very much for coming. Selects power drive and scores.
Snipes it right past all four of them. That's what we're talking about. You want that? You got that one less man on the ice to be between you and that net. Fire it up. Take your cannon shot. Bickety bam. Back of the net.
Bickety bam. I like that.
Yeah, well, you can have that.
And so he just gets a pass delivered back to him. You see he was armed, cocked, ready, and dangerous. And I don't know if Tilstead saw much of that.
No, I still don't think he's seen it coming. Even if he watches the replay, he may not.
So all of a sudden,
we are 1-1.
We are 1-1. We were talking about hardly power play goals yesterday. Referee spotted a high stick in there somewhere. Hang on, we've got player heading to the penalty box. Connor Schultz heading towards the penalty box. You talked him up earlier, JD, and now look where he's gone.
Look, this is what happens when I mention that someone's a North Star. They go to the penalty box.
Shots fired.
No.
Attacking zone face-off coming up for the Generals. We hardly saw any power play goals yesterday, and now we've seen a couple. And the Generals going on the power play, and Ben Handenberg, who just got the last goal for the Generals, about to take the face-off, wins it into the corner. Battling hard is Pope, all the way back down.
See, I always get nervous when goalies go that far away from their net, no matter what the play. It's like, get back across where you need to be. You've left a gap for no good reason.
Oh, me too. The amount of heart attacks that I've potentially had in all the leagues that I've commentated on when they go that far.
And look at him just drifting back. I mean, it's Friedrich. He knows what he's doing, but it's just a scary sight.
Entering the attacking zone now are the Generals. They're on the power play, centering pass, trying to connect with somebody. Cameron Pope there was coming through it, walked back to 5. Handberg happy to do some hard work up against the half wall as well. Andrew Chen setting down. Just setting up in front is Chen. They're just going left, right at the moment. Just happy to hold the puck at the moment was Connor Smith. Up against the boards, Tilstead watchful. Up against the boards, was providing the defense for the men in red and black, or black and blue at the moment. Handberg, oh, that was a good way that he got his stick in there. Rip on, caused that play to break down from the Generals. No harm done by the Generals on that occasion. Nice cross-ice pass. Couldn't quite connect there with Zach Steele rather in 65. Mr. Friedrich's gone for a wander again.
Look, that's his want to do at this point.
Left-hand side winding up. The puck's free. There was a Generals player very, very close to being able to tip that one in.
Look, if he'd have been 2 foot to his right, he'd have gotten that.
It was hanging around there in front, Noah Maley. The puck just avoided him and was fortunate there for Tilstead. Up against the boards, centering past Chenoweth. Left-hand side, whiffing on that shot slightly on the left. They can set up again. Power play just about over for the Generals. Nice cross-ice pass there. And we have another whistle. Bit of pushy-shovey. James Irwis there for the Sabres, having a running battle there with Cameron Pope.
And this is our James Irwis, and this is unfortunately what he does and why he's got the highest PIMs. He's got to watch himself or he'll end up back in that penalty box.
And we're just having a look at the replay of the high sticking from a little bit earlier on. So we'll just adjust the netting.
Oh, now the Nets are taking themselves for another walk. It's a flashback to yesterday.
Attacking zone face-off coming up for the Generals. 5-on-5 for the moment. 5:38 remaining in the first period. Scores are tied at 1. Gold medal game, Australian Junior Ice Hockey League, as the Sabres try and leave their own defensive zone. But not if Mr. Steele will have anything to do with it. They have to turn and chase there. O'Handley getting involved near the Generals bench. Nice passing. Entering the zone, trying to get around one. Couldn't get around the second there, Matuk. Still attacking the Generals. Applying some great pressure there was Ross. They need to be watchful here, the Sabres. They just need to get out of there. They've got a good opportunity to clear it out their left-hand side, but there's lots of pressure there from the men in red. There's a penalty coming. Shot went slightly wide there. It was a good shot there from Maley. They had the right intention. Delayed penalty coming up in the favour of the Generals. Good opportunity from them, but two couldn't get it in the zone. Sabres touch up, and the Generals will be heading on the power play.
Which, it's worked out well for them so far. Let's see if it's going to go again. Who have we got? Number 9, Alex Ross, going for a little walk.
Alex Ross heading to the penalty box, riding the pine for 2.
He can go and have himself a bit of a rest. Go and look for some snacks if there's any. Is are fabled to be in that particular penalty box?
Or any penalty box, really.
Well, there's that.
Attacking zone face-off coming up for the Sabres. Handberg, who got the goal for the Generals, will take it. The Generals bench, or rather the Sabres bench, quite animated at this stage as play is allowed to continue. They're on the attack. The Generals up against the boards. Puck almost leaves the attacking zone. Shot fired, goes across the face of goal in the end. Fired into the corner. All the way back down. Counter-attack opportunity for the Sabres via Schultz. The Generals now on the attack. Just working their way in. Just happy to dump and chase in the corner. Retrieving the puck there was Sables, who got the goal for the Sabres. Friedrich happy to play the puck.
Flicks it back out like a little mini cannon, like a trebuchet.
Oh, he certainly did. All the way back down for the Sabres at the defensive end. Huge ricochet off the glass there. Heavy collision there. Sabres with it. Centering pass. Intended target rip-on. Couldn't quite connect with it. Elwes has to turn and chase under some pressure. Left-hand side near the General's bench. And we have a whistle. Schultz. And the Sabres have gone offside.
Back you go, Connor. I'm going to stop saying nice things about you because then you're going to start getting more whistles.
They will go back to neutral ice in front of the... No, we're going to go back to centre ice.
Right back to the centre, okay.
So Thomas Moncrief will be taking the face-off against Maley. Generals win that face-off, trying to promote the puck. Just flinging it out there on the penalty kill was Thomas Moncrief. All the way back in defence for the Generals via Connor Smith. Handberg, big ricochet as it goes the aerial route. Now finding Chenoweth. Chenoweth with it. Trying to get that shot on was Steele. They have to turn and chase the Generals. Still 35 seconds of the power play. Entering the zone, or trying to enter the zone, is Steele. Now we've got another whistle.
We definitely do.
Offside the call.
Back you go, fellas. Keep an eye on that line.
So lots of pressure at both ends of the ice here.
That's just an accident. You got no control over that one.
Neutral zone face-off in front of the Sabres penalty box. Just over 3 minutes remaining in the first period. General still on the power play for the next 28 seconds, so they're not in a bad position on the ice at the moment. As Friedrich has to play the puck here. Finds some friendly faces in red there, which was fortunate for him. Taking over and getting his body in great position there. But we have a whistle. The referee didn't like that one. Hooking the call. Penalty box door will be opening.
A lot more penalties in this one than we were anticipating based on the last 3 games.
But this also what can happen in grand finals. You do these little extra percentage moves. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. And Zach Steele heads to the penalty box.
Yeah, you're playing that little bit harder because you wanted that little bit more, and accidentally then, or inadvertently or not, end up hooking, and Zach goes for his second trip to the penalty box.
So 12 seconds of 4-on-4, and then an abbreviated Sabres power play after that. Firing and just spraying a little bit wide was Mackenzie Bolger. Up against the boards near the scoreboard is Connor Bolger. Working back now, so we're now on the Sabres power play portion as Zach Steele sits for hooking. Entering the attacking zone of the Sabres briefly before the Generals just promote the puck out of there. Elwes now with it, centering pass, trying to connect, wasn't a clean delivery. Good zone exit there by Chenoweth. He's chasing hard, he's trying to chase down Sables. Near the Sabres bench now. 2:10 remaining in the first period. A minute 15 of the Sabres power play remaining. Now they can't enter the zone. They go offside.
They most definitely can't on that one. Yet another whistle. It is more than okay, because that's what they're there for.
So a neutral zone face-off in front of the Adelaide Generals bench. Just over 2 minutes remaining before the short first intermission. Sabres have to turn and chase that as the Generals get the puck out of there. Just a helpful paddle there by Tilstead. Hasn't had a lot to do. Irwis now working it out of his defensive end. He's got some options left and right, favouring the right-hand side. Chasing his own rebound off the boards. He's watchful Friedrich. Just circling around, just trying to find a lane that's open, just trying to find somebody in a better position than him. Nice cross-ice pass to the left-hand side. Just working, firing. We saw a goal from almost that same angle a little bit earlier on. It was a good shot in the end. Thomas Moncrief now just working the puck, trying to find somebody. The Generals are there and clear it out. 25 seconds of the Sabres power play remaining. Tilstead just with the paddle, just settling the puck down. He's under some pressure. With some good work there by Maley, providing the forecheck. The strong forecheck. Sabres now trying to enter the zone. Sables goes wide, enters the defence, trying to adjust. Some good work there by Connor Smith, getting his body in the way there. Back to 5-on-5 hockey as Steele comes out of the penalty box. Steele straight out of the box and into a good position on the ice. Gets a shot on. Heavy contact up against the boards there. The crowd either appreciated or didn't appreciate that, depending on what colour shirt you're wearing. Sabres now firing. Moncrief Thomas just going slightly wide. 25 seconds of the period remaining. Generals clear it out of their defensive zone. It's left now for Rippon. Rippon now has got some options. Decides to go towards the left between the Sabres bench, but here's an opportunity. Good shot there. It was a good shot there from Maley. And a penalty coming after the play, John D.
It most certainly is, and that's not the sort of thing you want to be doing at any given time, least of all when you are 1-1 at the end of the first during a gold medal game.
Cameron Pope there, amongst others, having some words to say.
Quite a few words, and I dare say more than a few colourful metaphors are being passed back and forth on the ice at this stage.
Spectators at the South Pole end getting a great view of the action at close range.
That's the beauty of a rink like that one. You can stand right there at that glass and you can see the guys hit the glass directly in front of you. If you can read lips, you can read the potential profanity that's going back and forth.
Oh, you'll be able to hear it.
Oh, that is also true.
So Sabres heading towards the penalty box now. James Irwis heading to the penalty box. Captain Sables having a chat to the referee. We'll see if there's anybody in red joining him. We'll have a look at the good initial shot and then after the whistle, taking exception there.
Yeah, see, that's not cool. That's exactly why he's gone.
So 4 seconds remaining in the first period, and the Generals will finish the first and start the second with a power play. 1-1, gold medal game. You'd expect nothing less, as the Sabres will just be happy to take it to the first intermission as time expires. First intermission time, a very short first intermission. JD, what do you think of that period?
Look, I think it was what you would expect from both these teams. Low scoring, but still scoring. One finally managed to get past Jeremy Friedrich for the weekend. Good little shot there. More PIMs than I was expecting. More actual calls, but also those couple of little bits of scraps. Things such as Mr. Elias's moment just now. A couple of the hooking calls have also been very valid. These guys just need to rein themselves in a little bit. Yes, it's gold medal, but don't be doing these little silly things that end up with your power plays, which is when, if you're the Sabres, you get scored on.
Certainly a big difference in the power play scoring opportunities and actual conversions compared to yesterday.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. I mean, and given that the Sabres statistically have the worst penalty kill in the comp, that's just numbers. They've done really well to kill off the couple that they've had so far, other than you know when the Generals got that one. But other than that, from the other ones they've got, they've killed them all, which is not what you would necessarily expect from such a, I don't want to say a weak penalty kill, but maybe not as strong as some of the other teams have got.
So the Generals will come back on the power play, a 1 minute 56 power play to start the second period.
And look, if you're the Generals, that's a spot you want to be in. You're going to have that man advantage. You're going to have James Irwis, who is one of their better defenders, off the ice for that moment. If you're going to lose anybody, that's who the Generals want to lose to be able to get past that line. They're going to want to get that one real quick, real early in the second period, establish that lead, and then try and build on that. Conversely, if you're the Sabres, you're going to want to kill that penalty, get back to full strength, and then you want to take that lead from there. And again, this could go either way right now. There's no way of calling it. Both teams fairly evenly matched at this point as far as end-to-end goes.
And so we're just having a look at centre ice. Players will be back on the ice shortly. A very first short intermission, an ice cut, and a longer second intermission after period 2.
It most certainly is. I mean, again, we've said this ad nauseum throughout the entire weekend. These poor guys are going to get this very brief break and then they're straight back to it. And in a game like this, they're going to hit it just as hard as they had. And by the end of the second, they're going to be wrecked. They're going to need that longer intermission break.
But if anyone missed the bronze medal game at this same point in the bronze medal game, it was 1-0 Wolfpack, and then it just exploded.
And then suddenly we had like 400 goals in like the span of 90 seconds. Which is slight hyperbole, but it's what it felt like. They just kept coming. And look, there's nothing to say this won't happen here other than what history may tell us when it comes to Friedrich and his goal-stopping ability. Which is not to take anything away from Dale Telstead. It's just the game that we got from Friedrich yesterday was such a good game, and he's had such a strong game already. I think that's what the Sabres are going to have to... Their major hurdle right now isn't the rest of the team. Their major hurdle is Jeremy Friedrich.
So both teams on the ice for the second period. 1-1 the score. The Adelaide Generals starting on a 1 minute 56 power play. Eric Brook and John D with you. The gold medal game, Australian Junior Ice Hockey League. 15 minutes on the clock. And we're underway. Generals, let's see if they can take advantage of their power play. Looking to get onto a good start there through Steele. Steele just happy to promote the puck in the attacking zone and sees what happens. Well kept into the zone on the right-hand side. Minute 40 of the Generals' power play remaining. Battling up against the boards. He has the puck now. It's again Steele. Walking the blue line. Trying to connect with Chenoweth. Couldn't quite connect. Now they're on the blue line. They're just attacking at the moment, just cycling, not necessarily getting a shot on at the moment. Chenoweth down low, trying to find somebody in front. Some good work by the Generals to keep it in via Handberg. Chenoweth again, just walking the blue line. Connor Smith, Chenoweth again. 65 seconds of the power play remaining for the Generals. Just happy to cycle it. They've got a player in front. Centering, Chenoweth fires. Some good work there by Savage, getting his body in the way, and the Sabres just get the puck out of there all the way back down. Helpful paddle, more than helpful paddle there by Friedrich. Entering the zone is Steele. Steele fires, cleared out of harm's way there by the Sabres. 40 seconds of the Generals' power play remaining, and all the way back down. He's certainly been everywhere on the ice. Ben Handberg, he got that ripper first goal for the Generals in the first period. Zach Steele squeezing his way through a hole. Trying to kill the remaining part of this penalty are the Sabres. Left-hand side, firing in some traffic, just went wide. It was a good shot there from Connor Smith. Just looking to fire now, trying to fire again. There's a big wall of black there, and the power play is just about over. Well killed there by the Sabres. As Irwis comes out of the penalty box, finding Thomas Moncrief now. Moncrief, he's got Irwis for company, getting forced wide there by Connor Smith. Sabres on the attack. See what they can do at this end. They clear it out of danger there. The Generals just getting the stick in the right place at the right time. No action required there by Friedrich. Thomas Moncrief now under some pressure. Handberg taking over for the Generals. They keep it in the attacking zone. Lots of desperation shown by both teams here. Noah Moncrief fires, and a good save there by Friedrich.
Which is, again what we've come to expect from Friedrich at this point. Again, nothing to take away from Noah Moncrief and his shooting ability, which is well and truly proven. Fires that. It's almost as if it's drawn straight to that logo on Friedrich's chest.
So an attacking zone face-off coming up for the Sabres. to the left-hand side of Friedrich. He's ready. He's waiting. Kept into the zone by the Sabres on the blue line. Trying to work in defence there was Chen. Sabres now still in possession. Just trying to find a way through. Lots of players from both teams. Thomas Moncrief got a good shot on there. Good save there. Moncrief again. Fires. Goes slightly wide. Keeping it on the blue line. Winding up. Firing. It was good work to get his body in the way there. Matuk caused the play to go back quite a few metres. Back into neutral ice. Sabres have to turn and retreat and regroup. Trying to fire. They fire. Good right pad save there by Friedrich. Called into action again. In the corner. Both teams racing for the half wall. The puck at the south pole end. Trying to clear it out of the general. Sabres having nothing to do with that one. Up against the boards. Clearing it out now the right-hand side. Generals giving themselves some breathing space, but that will come back for icing, so they can't change.
They most certainly cannot, and that's not what you want at this point, especially when it's been such a frenetic couple of minutes. You're going to want that change. You need your fresh line on.
Now an attacking zone face-off coming up for the Sabres, continuing to apply the pressure. So Connor Bolger will be taking the face-off. Puck is in the corner now. Matuk battling for the Generals. Generals just trying to clear it out. They should try and clear it out. Good soccer skills on the boards there. Near the Sabres bench. Sabres doing a good job via Connor Bolger. On the attack now. Just happy to fire it in was Tyler Boyle. On the half wall. Sabres working out of their own end via Connor Bolger. Bolger enters the zone, looking for a lane that's open, looking for somebody that was there. Brother McKenzie was there, but he couldn't really pull the trigger. Up against the boards on the half wall. The red jerseys are there first. Good work, Steele. Around one. Had some pressure applied there. Loses possession. They're taking over their Captain Sables now. Getting forced wide. They're coming back the Generals, forcing 13 wide. Into the boards, Maley providing some resistance, centering. The puck's there, and the puck goes out of play.
Look, if that's a really good play there by the Generals. You've got the puck in front of the net. You've got it, flick it round behind. That is probably the best thing you could do at that point, other than sending it straight down the far end. Because as long as it's behind your net, it's not going in your net.
Good work there by the Bolger brothers on the replay. Honor to McKenzie. And McKenzie just couldn't quite connect, but if he had got a shot off there, who knows?
Well, that could have gone very badly for some involved.
Attacking zone face-off for the Sabres. Puck takes an eternity to leave the face-off circle, and it does now via the Generals up against the boards. Counter-attack opportunity for the Generals now. Getting forced wide. Connor Smith, he's been busy. Kept into the zone there by Handberg. Back now for the Sabres at their defensive end. Quite happy to try and work down the right-hand side. Chenoweth. Oh, Handberg, he was in a good position in the slot. He just couldn't get the puck and the stick to connect at the right time. Nice cross-ice pass. Here's Handberg again. Scorer of the goal for the Generals. Getting forced wide. Some reinforcements arrive. Chenoweth's there. Out of the zone by the Sabres. Going for a skate down the right-hand side is Alex Ross. Heavy contact there with Handberg. The people in red liked it. The people in black and blue, not so much.
And the men in black and white, probably not so fond of what they saw either. Charging, by the looks of things.
So penalty box door will be opening, and Mr. Handberg will be entering.
You most certainly will. Think about your chucks. He's watching here. Yeah. Hey. Down you go.
There we go.
And then down you go. They're all at it.
The player's just been treated after some contact. It was heavy contact all round.
It was very heavy contact.
On attacking zone face-off and a power play coming up for the Sabres. A very tight 1-1 game so far. And what this also does, JD, it gives the players a slight opportunity to rest.
It does, especially, as we've said, at length, that 2-minute gap in between periods is nothing of a rest. And these moments definitely come to chat. But in this moment, can we just spend a very quick shout-out to the coach of the Sabres and congratulate him and his wife on the arrival of their son in a 1 in 2 million chance a couple of weekends ago.
Oh, certainly. What are the odds of having mother and daughter both born on the 29th of February?
Mother and son, rather.
Mother and son?
Yep, 1 in 2 million. But yep, congratulations to Jason and Annalie on the arrival of young Elijah.
The timing was exquisite.
That was fantastic.
Attacking zone face-off coming up now for the Sabres. The Generals clearing the puck out of there all the way back down. Chenoweth has a long chase there. He's pressured by Irwis against the boards. Charging the call against Handberg. More penalties coming.
Yep, more of these bigger hits. And guys, you can't be doing that because then this happens.
There's a fine line between pleasure and pain, that's for sure.
And it's not. I was going to make a further Divinals reference, but I can't find one. And this is the second one. Guys, this is, if you want to win a game, you don't do it by having two men in the penalty box.
There were 5-on-3 power players. The penalty box attendance helpfully. He's still down. We'll probably move, if we can move away from that.
We will do so. We'll come down this end. Just have a bit of a... There's Mr. Friedrich. He's having a bit of a chat with one of his guys.
So a 5-on-3 power play. We'll get a confirmation on the penalties when they come down the line. We're just treating an injured player as a result of that at this stage.
So look, in the meantime, what have you thought of this period so far, Eric?
Oh, this period's just gone up in intensity, and you can sort of see with the hits that are starting to come across as Mr. Friedrich takes the opportunity to receive a stick.
Very important to his role, having a stick. Hard to play the puck without one. You could try and use the force, probably not going to be real successful. Just saying.
As I mentioned, especially in these hitting leagues.
Absolutely.
There's a fine line sometimes between pleasure and pain. It just takes some technique, having wrong body parts in the wrong place, your timing slightly off. That's the whole thing.
And look, and the other thing is these guys are, and this is not a knock on them by any stretch of the imagination, but because they are that little bit younger and that maybe lack that experience, they just go in all guns blazing sometimes potentially, and then these things happen, which I'm sure none of it is deliberate. I think with experience comes knowing when to and when not to hit with those sort of really big hits. Yeah, and you just don't want to be on the receiving end of it, and you hate to see it.
We'll let the crowd noise tell you the reaction of that one.
Yep, the crowd noise indicates there's something positive happening on the ice there that we're not exactly privy to at the moment.
Oh, so we're just hearing that the player concerned who did the checking has just been ejected.
We have confirmation on who that was, yes?
We're just waiting on confirmation. We don't want to go off too early, as the Sabres player is assisted back to his bench, and he'll receive further assessment off the ice. This has just changed the whole flow of the game, JD.
This will change your energy on both sides. I mean, over on the General side, they've had someone ejected. On the Sabres side, they've lost someone due to injury, and we're yet to confirm who that was.
And so we'll get confirmation on all of this when it comes down the line.
Yep. We're just getting some reports coming through. Looks like everything seems to be back under control at ice level.
And an extended break for the players as well. We still have 8 minutes 54 remaining in the second period.
Sorry, viewers, we're just trying to get a handle on what's going on and getting some reports as to what's going on.
So a 5-minute major penalty. So the Generals with it all to do. So an attacking zone face-off coming up now for the Sabres. They were on a power play already. So now this will lead to a 5-on-3 situation for the Sabres.
which, if you're the Sabres, that's only a good thing for you. If you're the Generals, you've got to be rattled at this point. You've got your 5-on-3, you're 2 men down. You've just had someone ejected from the game.
So play continues now with the Sabres now. They've got a massive opportunity here to promote their cause. Shot on the left-hand circle. Charging the call. Craig McHerry setting the penalty.
So that initial call by the refs did stick from the charging there.
Play continues now with the Sabres just trying to take advantage of this power play. Still lots of time in this one with 8:15. Shot goes wide. Keeping it in the zone now, just lining up, just trying to fire a shot which went wide. It certainly had a lot of mustard on the stick from Sables. So Irwis there with a good shot, and he went back on, basically hugged that left-hand post, Jeremy Friedrich.
And those renegade goals are going for a walk again.
Oh, if I was a goalpost and I had Jeremy Friedrich leaning up against me, I'd be moving too.
Yeah, that's fair. You're going to get out of his respect. Respectfully, of course, but if you're a goal net, you're going to move.
Attacking zone face-off coming up now for the Sabres. And you can see that the energy's changed in the building.
Oh, it's a definite change in feeling, the whole thing.
Irwis now, right-hand side, shot, scores! And the Sabres with the power play goal. The go-ahead goal, dare I say it.
Look, don't mention the war. But look, that's the second one from the captain for the afternoon, by the looks of things.
Oh, he's having a great afternoon.
Oh, look, he's having a blinder. And look, this will now, again, be a change. Look at it. Watch it here. It'll change the complete energy. It goes from Irwis across, catches it straight in, straight past Frederick. Nothing he can do. And this will change the energy again, as I was saying. Sabres will pick back up. The Generals probably be that little bit more demoralised, which is not a good place for them to be whatsoever.
So 2-1 Sabres in the gold medal game with 7:50 remaining in the second period. So we're underway again after goal number 2. Good power play goal for the Sabres coming up now. Just looking to centre in front, trying to clear it out of the Generals. They do a good job of that. They have to turn and chase via Irwis. Now centering. He's finding some good support by Max Miller there on the blue line. Connor Bolger happy to promote the puck in company there with Rippon. All the way back down. Still 3:20 of the major penalty remaining. So the Sabres now with a player advantage for 3.25 minutes now after that earlier incident. Sabres now across the ice pass. Good opportunity on the right-hand side, trying to find Rippon. Couldn't quite connect with Rippon cleanly. Clark doing some good defensive work there for the Generals. Reinforcements arrive from both teams. Sabres still on the attack now. Shot. It was a good shot from Savage if it had have went through, but there were bodies in the way there. Back now for Steele. Somebody like Steele is going to have to be solid in this situation. Chenoweth now chasing the puck near the penalty box, just happy to dump it in. All the way back down, 2:35 remaining on the power play for the Sabres. So let's see what they can do for the second half of this power play. All the way back down, it's left there for Chen. Chen has to turn and chase. The Generals now looking for some options, going straight down the middle. Almost collected with the stick of Thomas Moncrief on the way through. Up against the boards on the half wall. On the attack, the Generals, they haven't been down here in good ice position for quite some time. There's lots of Sabres jerseys down there. They should be able to control the puck. 2 minutes of the power play remaining for the Sabres. Good work there by Maley, helping that play to break down. Back to neutral ice. Sabres all running, entering the zone on the right-hand side. Centering pass, couldn't connect with anybody in the end. Wilson there, the closest to the puck. Thomas Moncrief up against the boards, walking the blue line. They hold it in, they fire. We've got an interference penalty coming up.
We do, I didn't even see that.
So Sabres heading towards the penalty box. That will tip the scales a little bit closer to the Generals.
Look, at least we'll have a 4-on-4 at this stage, and there's no advantage. And again, as we've said before, you get that 4-on-4, it opens the ice up. You've got more options to move the puck around, maybe even have that minute to breathe on both sides. You've definitely got the more room to move.
So Wilson sitting for the Sabres, 4-on-4 for the next minute 36. This evens things up a lot for the Generals and helps with that major penalty.
It does, which, they've done a really good job so far of killing.
It'd be quite easy just to lose composure at this sort of point and forget about hockey, but they've continued. Breakaway opportunity, counter-attack for the Sabres, shooting, and a good save there by Friedrich. It was good work by the Sabres. He lost his stick there, Thomas Moncrief, so he just has to pull out the soccer skills from under 10s.
And he most certainly did too. That was impressive.
Oh, Lieutenant Dan would have loved that one. Up against the boards, right near the penalty box. Good work there by Maley's being good. Handberg couldn't get a good shot on. Got the goal for the Generals in the first period. Handberg having to turn and chase him. What desperation there from Handberg. He timed his leap well. Moncrief, Thomas fires and deflected off Friedrich and out of play. Normally it's D that you see with that sort of sliding desperation, not one of your forwards.
No, but at that point, what else are you going to do? And you've got to be really careful doing that because that could so easily turn into a big trip.
And especially considering the leading goal scorer for the Adelaide Generals, Mr. Handberg, on that occasion with the massive slide.
That's right.
Really worked out well there. Wilson sitting 2 minutes for interference for the Sabres. 45 seconds of the 4-on-4. And then an abbreviated power play for the Generals after that, possibly. Up against the boards, right near the Generals bench here. On the attack, Connor Bolger getting forced wide by Zach Steele. Near the penalty boxes, trying to squeeze the puck through Steele. They managed to do that. Trying to get it off the paddle there of Friedrich, promoting the puck. 15 seconds of 4-on-4. And that will come back for icing.
It most certainly will, leading to another hard reset. Back and down we go. It really is such a different game after that incident. The energy, you just feel it. It just feels like it's coming off different.
Attacking zone face-off coming up for the Sabres. Rip-on will take it. Attacking zone face-off for the Sabres. 4-on-4 is just about over. Generals at their defensive end. Under some pressure, just trying to clear it out. They've got a little bit of open space now. As the Generals penalty box door opens, shot goes wide. Erwis with it, battling against Steele. Puck comes all the way back down and he has to turn and chase Connor Smith. Playing the puck is Friedrich. All the way up the ice. And the Sabres quite happy to return fire. And we have a whistle, we have a hand pass.
That's two of those we've seen today, and you don't sort of get a lot of that call.
Hand passes can be easy to miss too.
That is true.
And so we're just seeing some replay action. Attacking zone face-off coming up. The Generals have 5 seconds of power play and they're at the wrong end. But major credit to the Generals the way they killed that major penalty.
Oh, look, absolutely. I mean, considering they've got the second best penalty kill in the league, it's not surprising they've managed to do it.
But 5 minutes is a long time to be short-handed.
Well, a very long time.
Well kept into the zone by the Sabres on the left-hand side. Back to 5-on-5 hockey for the first time in how long?
A week and a half?
A week and a half. Noah Moncrief getting heavily involved. Sabres on the attack again, centering pass. Trying to connect with Thomas Moncrief in front. The Generals doing well here. 3:10 remaining in the second period. Sabres 2-1. They're getting forced wide. The Generals up against the boards. Good work again by Maley. It's back now near the Zamboni door that will come out in about 3 minutes. Zamboni fans. Up against the board, Noah Moncrief. Good. It was good. Good work all around there. Moncrief fired the puck. It collected Connor Smith on the way through. It went all the way through to Tilstead, who probably wasn't expecting that puck to come in his direction, but because of what happened, he was ready for it.
Look, you wouldn't think, though, that he thought that was coming, but, being a goalie of his calibre, he's ready for it when it does, just in case. You don't want to get complacent when you're standing in that net, just assuming your defenders are going to do it for you.
Across the face of goal there was the shot from Foster. Firing in front and having to sprawl there was Tilstead, and well saved. Lots of pressure there from the Generals.
Look, and I think that's what the Generals are going to start doing, like a little bit harder. They've had that moment. I think they're going to sort of pull it back on those big hits after they've had that big penalty, and then now you're going to go back to more of a technical game. I would like to think we will see.
And Foster was certainly applying some pressure on the doorstep. Sabres with it, using the wall near the Generals bench. Going for a skate now. They have to turn and chase. With it now is Chen in defence. Trying to link up there with Zach Steele. Now the Generals have it up, straight up the middle. They go on that occasion. And that will come back for icing with 2:19 remaining in the second.
And you got to think these guys are all counting down those minutes and seconds until they get that break.
The only thing that the Sabres will be disappointed by, and it wasn't for a lack of trying, was no result from that extended power play.
No, and look, again, it wasn't anything to do with a lack of effort. It just, the penalty kill on the other side was just that good.
And that's what you'll expect in a gold medal game. Attacking zone face-off for the Sabres. Players flying everywhere. Good shot there from Miller.
Fantastic catch by Friedrich.
Yeah, it was almost Miller time.
It was getting close to it. We'll just watch the replay over here. Flicks it. Yep. And he drops. Fires it. Straight past. Beautiful.
So back now for Chen. Chen trying to clear the defensive zone. Sabres keep it in with just over 2 minutes remaining in the second period. Sabres up by a goal. Gold medal game in the AJ for season 19-20. Couldn't get a shot off. There was Lavery. Was Ross rather. Battling at the defensive end. Chenoweth now first to the park. Back into neutral ice. Sabres trying to get some stick time there from Miller. Up against the boards. Irwis now, right hand circle. 90 seconds remaining in the second period. Sabres 2-1. The Generals killed a massive major penalty. And a good save there by Friedrich.
Absolutely it was. But this is, again, what we've come to expect in this game and the three that preceded it. You're going to see those amazing saves because, as we said, there's nothing left for these guys to give. You don't need to hold on for next week's game. There is no next week.
That was good work again by Miller. Attacking zone face-off coming up for the Sabres. 89 seconds remaining in the period to the right-hand side there of Friedrich. And the officiating crew would like that one again, please.
So they have a do-over, unhappy with what they've seen.
Undo.
Control Z.
Attacking zone face-off again for the Sabres. Puck comes out of the face-off circle, courtesy of Matuk. Sabres still with it in their attacking zone, trying to fire, but there were lots of bodies in red, well kept into the zone there by the Sabres. It was so close to being offside, but it was well kept in the zone. Up against the half wall. Noah Moncrief now trying to connect with somebody from the Sabres, but couldn't. Matuk going for a skate down the right-hand side, just happy to dump it in at the moment. Good save there by Tilstead. Up against the half wall now. The Generals come rushing in, including by Hamburg, all the way back down. And that will come back for icing with 50 seconds remaining in the second period.
Look, I don't think we're going to see much out of the rest of this period. It's going to be a lot of that. A lot of sort of to and from the face-off, as these guys have clearly got to be exhausted from basically playing the two periods back-to-back, and from just the level of physicality they've brought to it. They deserve that rest at this stage.
An attacking zone face-off coming up now for the Generals. 50 seconds remaining in the second period. Chenoweth will take it to the boys in red. Sabres trying to work it down their right-hand side. On the attack now. Noah Moncrief sprays it wide. Past the outstretched pad there of Friedrich. Up against the boards. Coming in. Attacking. Doing some good work. Just regaining possession. It was good work there by Smith. He had Steele for company but didn't need him in the end. Back now for Clark. Clark just gets the puck out of there. Nice pass. Cherry picking on the blue line. There was Zach Steele. Clearing it out of the Sabres. Noah Moncrief on to brother Thomas. Thomas Moncrief with it now. Trying to get somebody on the trailer there. They just sent it a bit wide. It was ready for it there. Time rapidly expiring in the second period. One last opportunity possibly for the Generals. Winding up, firing and going well and truly high and wide to see out the second period.
But if you're the Generals, that's the moment you want. You want to get that right at the end of the period equaliser. You don't want to be coming in short-handed, or, well, they're not short-handed this time around. They were previously. This time around, you're 1 goal down, and you don't want that.
So a massive 2 periods of hockey, a massive penalty kill there by the Generals. No result for the Sabres during that major penalty. But wowee, what a good couple of periods there that we've had. And what that set up is an excellent third and final period.
Look, this third period is going to be, as we mentioned earlier, a proverbial barn burner. You're not going to want to miss it. It could go literally either way, as we've said. And seeing the effort both these teams are putting in, there's nothing to say that 10 seconds in, as per the last couple of games and the last couple of periods, we're not going to see an equalising goal.
So who will win the gold medal and the Nathan Walker Trophy? Will it be the Sydney Sabres, who are up by a goal, or will it be the Adelaide Generals? We'll have a look at some highlights for the first couple of periods and then rejoin you for the third and final period. O'Brien Icehouse gold medal game, Australian Junior Ice Hockey League, back soon. Welcome back to the third and final period. Australian Junior Ice Hockey League gold medal game. The winner getting the Nathan Walker Trophy. And so far the Sabres are up by a goal, John D.
They most certainly are, and what a period of hockey we've just sat through.
It was certainly a period which had everything. It had some goal scoring, it had some hits, it had some penalties, and there was lots of backwards and forwards action. The Generals, after the major penalty that they received, they did really well on the penalty kill. This third period is going to be exciting.
Look, that penalty kill was nothing short of amazing. There was the full 5 minutes. They killed the whole thing. Good job, them. What we're going to see next is anybody's guess. We could see another couple of rapid-fire early goals. We could see nothing until the very end. This could be it. We might not see any more goals. But what we do know is that both these teams are going to leave nothing behind. They're going to both keep playing at the same level they've been at, if not higher, to get to the point where they want to. They both want to hold that trophy. They're both here. They're both at the main event. They want that. They want that title.
They will return to ice level now. The Sabres are coming back on the ice. The Generals not far behind them. The Sabres are the current champions in the AJ, so they're looking to go back to back. The Generals, they have won one competition before, and so they know what it's like to win as well.
They most certainly do. And then look, they want to get a second one. Sabres want to go back to back, and you can feel that both teams really want it. And at the moment, Sabres are up by one goal. One goal in a game and an environment in a final series like this one, one goal's nothing. We could so easily see, as we have done in the previous game, 2 goals, rapid fire, right at the start of a period.
So we'll see both teams returning to the ice now. 5-on-5 hockey, 15 minutes on the clock. Third and final period. Sabres up 2-1. Both teams on neutral ice. And we're underway, third and final period of the gold medal game in the AJ. Entering the attacking zone are the Generals now on the right-hand side. Turning to stop and prop there. Noah Maley doing some good work. Outnumbered, some reinforcements arrive. Penalty coming. 15 seconds gone in the period.
Hand in the air straight up at the start of a period. Again, we have seen this almost every period so far today, and it's either been this or it's been a goal. Just play the game, guys. Stop doing these little things, and you'll get where you need to be. What's it looking like?
It's looking like a Sabres penalty. The Generals, they're ready to go.
Looks like that might be.
Noah Maley was doing some good work there, and then the last bit there from the Sabres as James Irwis sits in the penalty box riding the pine for a couple.
Number 4, James Irwis, no stranger to spending some time in the penalty box. Here's a lovely lady who we do know is sitting at home watching, will not be impressed with him, and special shout out to her who is probably shouting at her TV right now. Hello, Shiana.
Generals on the power play for the next 2 minutes. 16 seconds gone in the period, and the Generals in a really good position. They're down by a goal. Sabres now trying to clear it out of their defensive end. Earl sitting 2 minutes for interference. Back now, Zach Steele with the puck on the half wall. Steele, he's got Handberg for company. There's Handberg, opening goal scorer for the Generals. Left-hand side, lots of traffic there in front of Kilstead, who holds and saves.
Look, this is what he's been doing all afternoon, and it's what he's going to need to keep doing if he wants to keep his team in this, which is, again, not always easy to do when you're on that penalty kill. But look at that shot. Comes out of nowhere, pulls it out of the sky, plants it. Good job.
Good work there by Connor Smith there.
100% it was.
Attacking zone face-off and the power play continuing for the Generals. Next minute 42. Back now, Thomas Moncrief winning the face-off for the Sabres on that occasion. Zach Steele now just looking for a way forward. He's got a player in front setting up in Maley. He's going left, right, left, right, left, right, like he's doing an eye exam at the moment. He's Mr. Steele. Good work there by Chenoweth contributing. He's got a player set up in front, but he hasn't really used him yet in Maley. So Maley's just there waiting near the paint there. Just trying to set up, injecting himself with Steele. Play breaks down. Thomas Moncrief with it. Just getting the puck out of there short-handed. Power play for the Generals for the next minute. Up against the boards. They're chasing hard right near the Zamboni door. Generals at their own defensive end doing some work. Maley's been everywhere in this opening couple of minutes of this third and final period. Generals getting forced back, so they have to turn and chase. Connor Smith again coming back now for the Generals. Got Chenoweth for company. He's also got some pressure being applied by the Sabres. Left-hand side now, Chenoweth entering the zone, getting around one, trying to get a shot on, but was fractionally wide. Chasing his own puck, leaving it back now, firing. It unfortunately collected Maley on the way through and sent the puck in totally the wrong direction. It was a great idea though. Well kept into the zone there by Handberg. Chenoweth back to Handberg. Handberg fires. Sounded like it got a bit of iron on the way through. Power play just about over for the Generals. One last opportunity possibly. Trying to connect. Couldn't connect there with Smith on the right-hand circle. And the Sabres get their player back. Back to 5-on-5 hockey, but for how long? Chenoweth working down low, applying all the pressure, picking the pocket there on the Sabres on that occasion. Keeping it in the zone, doing some good work. Was supplying some pressure, just looking to get the puck out of there. It flies all the way back down for Handberg. Handberg almost out of play. They have to turn and chase Connor Smith. Up against the board near the Zamboni door. Thomas Moncrief getting involved. Irwis as well under some pressure. They need to clear it out, the Generals. Heavy contact. And that puck went ricocheting high and wide and almost got a 10 on re-entry.
Oh, look, it was near enough to it.
So replay action here. And you just see players battling for the puck. Attacking zone face-off for the Sabres. The left-hand side of Jeremy Friedrich, who's had an excellent weekend. Back now for Miller. Miller up against the boards. Generals clear it out by their left-hand side. They have to turn and chase. Turning and chasing of the Sabres now. Going down their right-hand side. Continuing their right-hand side, but there's a Generals player there just happy to fling it in. Stepping on the doorstep was Matuk, who was ready for it on the doorstep. Keeping it in, Chenoweth fires. And a good save there by Tilstead.
Which, again, another much-needed mini-rest for these guys. I mean, look at this shot. We're a little bit behind. We'll get to it in a sec. These guys are still working so hard, and they've played such intense hockey both yesterday and today. Whatever they've got left, they're going to pull it out in the next 10 minutes or so, whatever we've got left, 11 and a half.
Matuk's ready to take the face-off for the Generals. They do a good job of keeping it in the zone. Shot goes slightly wide of Tilstead. No action required. Irwis. They keep it in the zone. It was good work there by the Generals. Now the Sabres managed to clear it out of it. It'll come all the way back down. It's left now for Chen. Chen for the Generals. Left-hand side. Promoting the puck. Didn't find anybody in red. Left now back for Irwis. Irwis with it now. Got some options down the left-hand side, showing the wheels that he's got, straightening the attack, going down the centre, getting around Chan, trying to squeeze his way through a gap, but the gap finally closed in the favour of the Generals. In the corner, Matuk trying to clear it out. They clear it out the Generals' left-hand side, handy tap on there to centre ice. On the attack now, the Sabres' left-hand side via Ripon. Ripon now trying to chase the puck near the Zamboni door, but he was in good position there, Chen. Chen battling with Ripon. The referee just wants to see the puck continue to move, and it did. Generals trying to clear it out now. Got some options down the right-hand side. They try to go down the right-hand side, but it was congested. Doesn't matter which way you went. Matuk battling near the bench. Up against the boards. Miller, Matuk with some soccer seals. Left it behind him. Up near the Sabres bench now. And play comes into open ice now. And good work there by Connor Smith. Promoting the puck to Maley. Maley getting forced wide by Irwis. Good Sunday afternoon finals crowd. All the way back down. They have to turn and chase rather quickly. You have to get back there. First to the puck. First to the puck there was Ross. Clearing it out of immediate danger of the Generals. 9:44 remaining in the third and final period. Sabres 2-1. Neutral ice. Good opportunity from Chenoweth. Loses possession. It's good work by Reiko. Back now, Connor Smith. Generals, their own defensive end, got options left and right. Goes to the left. Not quite kept into the zone by the Sabres. Back to neutral ice. Lots of battles here. Kenilworth can't control the puck for the Generals. So they elect to go backwards at the moment to go forwards. Now they try and straighten up the attack. And good playing of the puck there by Friedrich. Promoting the puck on the left-hand side. Trying to connect there with Kenilworth. Couldn't quite do it. Near the Generals penalty box now. Penalty box doors have remained solidly shut for the majority of this period. It's left back now for Smith. Tapped on by the Generals, and that will come all the way back for icing.
Which we're seeing a lot of, like more so than you would expect in a game like this. You wouldn't think they'd be that they were going for, but you know it's working for them.
On attacking. Sometimes it's just a good opportunity just to get set as well.
That is true, and you know you get that sort of 40-second breather.
Attacking zone face-off for the Sabres. One there by Thomas Moncrief. Shot attempt, didn't make it through to Friedrich. Players sliding on the ice at the desperation that grand finals bring. Back now for Elwes at his own defensive end. Shadowed there by Handberg. Cleared out, nice give and go passing. Thomas Moncrief now with it, firing. Going slightly wide. Chasing his own puck. Happy to try and get it back in now. Matuk with it. Up against the boards. Matuk battling. Sabres still in possession. Centering pass. They've found a general stick on the way through. So that play breaks down. Entering the zone on the left-hand side. Trying to centre. Trying to find somebody to shoot, but they couldn't. Well kept into the zone by Matuk. He's done a mountain of work in this third and final period. Back up against the board. Zach Steele, the man. Sabres with an opportunity now. The Generals are coming back. They're forcing him wide. Thomas Moncrief getting forced wide. Gets a shot on. Goes wide to Friedrich. No action required. Kept into the zone via the Sabres. Good work, Alex Ross. Back now for the Generals. Clearing it out via the right-hand side. Zach Steele again. He's battling against Savage. Sabres now. It's been end-to-end hockey. Sabres now entering the zone. Trying to squeeze through gaps. Couldn't quite squeeze through the gaps there. Couldn't pull the trigger. Centering attempt goes behind the face of goal. Lots of red jerseys there. Trying to squeeze through gaps. Mackenzie Bolger. Up near the Zamboni door. Thomas Moncrief now in front. It was a good opportunity there. It was a good shot there. And the Sabres are keeping them hemmed down here, the Generals. Up on the blue line, doing a good job of keeping it in was Savage. Near the scoreboard, 6.5 minutes to go. 2-1 Sabres, third and final period. AJ gold medal game. Trying to clear it out now is Connor Smith for the Generals. Friedrich with the helpful paddle. Turned out good for him on that occasion. Setting play up, breakaway, cherry picking. Getting sent wide. Almost an empty net to look at there. They couldn't pull the trigger. Tilstead was well and truly out of position there.
And if you're a Sabres fan, that's an incredibly stressful moment.
Oh, certainly is. And play continues now. Playoff coming down to the ice, Mackenzie Bolger. But a missed opportunity there for the Generals for sure and certain. Had a great opportunity, just couldn't pull the trigger. Back now for the Sabres in defence. Cross ice pass. Looking to go right, they go right, just whacked well and truly back into the zone by Connor Smith, giving his team an opportunity to change in red should they need to. Coming back now, some pressure applied there by Sable, scored both Sabres goals so far. Back now, just firing in his Handberg and well saved there from a distance. Good shot there by Handberg, good goaling by Tilstead.
Look, fantastic work all around by everybody involved in this play. Look, hooks it around, sends it across, gets it to his mate, fires it, catches it, actually looks at his glove to go, oh, do I have that? Yes, I do.
Oh, just imagine he was almost on the doorstep there, Andrew Chen. If there had been a rebound.
Look, if that had been a rebound, that could have been a very different outcome to that play.
Oh, they could have lit up Rundle more. As play continues, Chen can't prevent the puck from leaving the zone. Trying to force it back in. Counter-attack opportunity. Miller's in a good position, but he came back, Chen. Back to neutral ice. They have to wait for the Sabres to get back on side. At the left now for Matuk. Matuk with it, just cycling behind his own net. Promoting the puck now on the left-hand side. Sabres with it. 5 minutes to go. Sabres 2-1 against the Generals in the gold medal game. All the way back down, and that'll come back for icing.
Look, it's at this point where if you're the Generals, you've got to find something extra to pull out. Whatever you've got left, throw it at the wall and hope it sticks, because you're one down, you're 4 or 5 minutes out from the end. This is gold medal time, people. If you're going to do it, do it. And but perversely, all the Sabres have got to do is just keep them down the other end.
Maley will take the face-off for the Generals. In some traffic, shooting, firing, going wide. Pressure behind the net. Sabres just trying to get into some open ice. Well kept into the zone there by Handberg. Collision afterwards. In the slot there. Opportunity play getting more desperate by the second. Across the face of goal. Almost could have bounced off Tilstead and in. Fortunately for him, it went off him and wide. All the way back down. Goes wide there of Friedrich. No action required by him. The pace is stepping up with 4.5 minutes to go in the gold medal game. There's a 1-goal difference. There's Erwis. Applied some pressure by Maley. Generals still with it. Generals fire. Standing up, saving. Chasing the rebound is Chenoweth in the slot. Puck comes out of the zone. So they have to turn and chase. And Clark has to come back and clean up for the Generals. Generals now trying to attack. Just whacking it in is Connor Smith. Didn't care where that one went. Clearing it out. The puck's pinballing is a good opportunity. Noah Moncrief with the shot, and a good save there by Friedrich.
I'm not even sure he knew where that landed up. I think it was between his knees. As you see him looking around and say, where did that go? Oh, here it is. I'm sitting on it.
Now let's have a look down this left-hand side. How about that pass to Noah Moncrief, just waiting on the blue line, and then he got a good shot on him, and he was applying some pressure, Ben Handberg. Back now, attacking zone face-off, Thomas Moncrief. He loses the puck. The Generals trying to clear it out via the right-hand side. Past the bench now. Trying to squeeze through gaps. Noah Moncrief was there. Up against the boards. They have to come back. Friedrich playing the puck again into relative safety. They come back now, the Sabres in the neutral ice, just controlling the pace of the play with 3.5 minutes to go. Straight down the middle, trying to find Thomas Moncrief. Couldn't connect cleanly. Brother Noah's there. Matuk's there as well, up against the boards. Heavy contact into the bench. Zach Steele getting forced against the... I was going to say Steele, but that doesn't work. Noah Moncrief now. Moncrief walks in, fires and scores, and the Sabres, they go up 3-1 as that sealed it. I don't want to call it too early, JD.
You don't want to call it, but it's certainly definitely become much bigger hill in 180 seconds for the Generals to climb. When it was one goal, you can do that. You can force an overtime. 2 goals in 2 minutes. Yes, we've seen it today. Whether or not we're going to see it for them to come back, I honestly doubt it.
He just slid it into Noah Moncrief, and look at the celebration there. We have a timeout, Generals.
And at this point, do they do that fabled thing that we do towards the end when we're not winning? Do we see an empty net any minute now?
So 3:08 remaining. Timeout, Generals. They're down by 2 goals. They've got a little, I wouldn't say plenty of time, but they've got enough time.
Look, it's absolutely doable. We've seen it happen literally an hour ago. You can do 2 goals in 2 minutes. 100% can be done. Whether or not these guys can do it, even if they pull their goalie, get the extra attacker, it's an uphill battle. 100% can be done. We've seen the firepower these guys got. We've seen the ability they can do. If they hit whatever reserve fuel tanks they've got, fire them on all cylinders, it can be done. Whether it will be, honestly, I doubt it, because this Sabres defense has just been too strong for too long.
So 3:08 remaining. Generals have just had their timeout. This is a vital 3 minutes and 8 seconds. The penalty box doors need to remain closed.
There's been very little of that so far this period. Watch us jinx it.
Back to centre ice after the Noah Moncrief goal. Another stage of the game. Zach Steele, he won it for them yesterday. He fires a shot, but it collected a Sabres player on the way through. Well kept into the zone initially by the Generals. The Sabres now in the box seat with under 3 minutes to go. Noah Moncrief assisted by Brother Thomas on that goal there. 2:48 remaining. Kept into the zone there by Erwis. The puck pinballed around. Ripon was there and thereabouts, but couldn't contribute. Back now to neutral ice. Here's Ripon. entering the zone, just happy to promote the puck. Just happy just to waste some time. The Generals, on the other hand, they have it all to do. Going for a skate down the right-hand side. It was some good work there by Maley. The puck goes back into neutral ice. Generals have it now. Puck goes high and wide to Tilstead. No action required on that occasion. Up against the boards. Here comes Connor Bolger. Getting forced wide. Heavy hit there by Handberg. And we have a whistle. Do we have a penalty? Yes, we do.
We have, in fact, jinxed it. And come on, guys, it's 123 seconds left. Pull your heads in.
So boarding's been the call before all this kicked off with the extracurricular. So just separating both teams. Handberg coming in with the hit. And then this carried on afterwards. 2:03 remaining in the third period. Sabres 3-1. So the captain, Dylan Sable's getting escorted to the penalty box. Ben Handberg was heading there anyway for a 2-10 boarding call.
Look,
and any hope that the Generals had just evaporated.
Not necessarily, but probably. It's not looking good at this point.
Now we'll see where this face-off is going to be held. And so the back referees called that one. And then it's just kicked off. Kicked off after that.
Just completely unnecessary at this point.
Yeah, I wonder if they've regarded Sables as third man in.
Well, maybe.
Because he wasn't involved in the initial stuff. Connor Bolger and Brad Chenoweth were. And then Sables has come in, and I know the officials take a dim view of third man in.
Yeah, they don't appreciate that one.
We'll get confirmation on those penalties when it comes down the line, as the penalty box door is still open. Now Handberg got a 2-10 for boarding. We knew that beforehand, so that could be the player serving that portion of that penalty.
The 2 minutes?
Yeah. But we won't see Handberg back. He hasn't got enough time.
No. We absolutely jinxed it. Like, no penalties, not a lot of penalties so far this period.
The boys have been well behaved.
Oh, and suddenly here we go. It's on for young and old.
So let's say that the face-off is going to be an attacking zone face-off for the Sabres. The original penalty was against Handberg. And Thomas Moncrief will be taking the attacking zone face-off for the Sabres. They're 2 minutes and 3 seconds away from doing it twice in a row, John D.
It's definitely looking that way. You got 4 on 4, 123 seconds out, 2-goal deficit. I don't want to say it's not looking great for the Generals, but it's not looking great for the Generals.
The Generals with it all to do. Let's see what they can do. They're on the charge through Andrew Chan. Chan winds up, fires. Good save there by Tilstead. Up against the boards. Sabres just need to clear it out of there. 4 on 4 for the next minute 45. Desperation. Empty net
up. That's
empty
it.
Net goal for the Sabres. And the coffin has been nailed shut.
That is all she wrote. Someone call Agatha Christie in. That's been a murder mystery right there.
And so the Generals not giving up, pulling the goalie for the extra attacker, and the Sabres took advantage of that.
And quite rightly so. And look, and that's the sort of thing the Sabres are going to do. Look at this. He's dropped trying to stop that. There's no one in the way. That's it. We're done.
So 4 on 4 remains.
Probably almost a safe bet to call it for the Sabres at this point.
I would say so. I would love the Generals to get one back to neaten up the score, to bring the gap down a little bit, because it's not reflective of the gap between the two teams.
No.
On the scoreboard. Chenoweth trying to connect now. Back door was a great work there from Smith. Good save there. Thomas Moncrief down the left-hand side trying to connect with Irwis. 90 seconds to go. Sabres up by 3 goals. The mountain is almost impossible to climb now for the Generals. The Sabres will be eating up every second they can. The Generals, though, they won't give up. Let's see what they can do on this attacking wave, on this charge. Irwis, Thomas Moncrief, kept into the zone well. Shot went well and truly wide there by Connor Smith. Up against the boards, Chenoweth, valuable seconds eaten by the Sabres on this occasion. all the way back down. Thomas Moncrief. 50 seconds to go. Up against the boards. Moncrief in good position against Smith. Valuable seconds being eaten here. The Generals, they need to go now, but the Sabres will just keep them hemmed down here. They know that they're 35 seconds away from their second AJ title in a row. Good opportunity. Well safe, Friedrich. Got the paddle down. Got the pads down. Good opportunity coming up for the Generals. But the Sabres, get ready to celebrate, Sabres fans, because you've won 2 in a row. Thomas Moncrief about to put the exclamation point on it. Is he? No. And the net's off its moorings with 9 seconds to go. So a massive weekend of junior hockey here in Australia. And it's the final countdown. Purely academic in this last 5 seconds.
You're not getting 3 goals in 5 seconds. Sabres fans, you may as well start celebrating a couple of minutes ago.
So through to Friedrich, that'll be the easiest save he's made all afternoon. So the crowd should start to count it down from 3 seconds. The Sydney Sabres, they've come from 3rd position. They will take their second AJ title. They are the champions, the Sabres, the Australian Junior Ice Hockey League. They go and celebrate. Here comes the pylon for goalie Tilstead. And the boys, they're excited, and so they should be.
Kick the tyres and light the fires. That is it. We are done for the AJIHL this season. Your champions right there.
So a fantastic weekend of hockey all around. The Generals certainly not disgraced. They gave it everything that they had. 3rd played 4th in the grand final in the gold medal game. And the Sabres, they head to the bench. They celebrate with their coaching staff. It's been a long season. 2 in a row. They were 3rd after the regular season. They had the Wolfpack and the Blitz ahead of them. Both of those teams lost yesterday. And the Sabres, they're about to hold aloft the Nathan Walker Trophy.
They most certainly are. And just look at these guys. They've fought hard. They've played hard. They've overcome the game they've had to play yesterday. The game they've played today. Just massive shout out to these guys, as well as the other 3 teams that have played. We have seen some of the best AJ hockey we've ever seen this weekend. It's been truly fantastic. And look, the Generals, every step of the way, they're in it. Yes, 3 goals down, but you know what? One of those is empty net, so, kind of don't worry about that so much. They were in it. They stayed with it. They worked hard. They never gave up. More 100% credit to them for their efforts they've put in this weekend. To go from 4th to this, just good job, boys. Good job.
So congratulations all round to both teams, the Generals and the Sabres. And a fantastic weekend of hockey. What this also sets up, John D, many of the players that we've seen this weekend also playing in the Australian Ice Hockey League, which starts in April, goes through to August, September. So we'll see many of the players that we've seen this weekend step up to the next level with the various teams around the country.
They most certainly will. And look, tournaments and leagues such as this one for these younger guys, they get that big game experience. They get that ice time to just grow and develop, which basically helps them leading into those lower positions they play with those AI teams. Just gives them that little bit of extra edge, a bit of extra experience that they can just bring to every level that they play at. And it's just fantastic to see all these young guys putting in all this time, all this effort for the league such as this. And the coaches, the managers, the equipment managers, everybody from the top right down the bottom, just massive props to everybody for making this happen.
It's a massive summer of hockey for all of these teams. They play 15 games, 3 games every weekend, 2 on Sundays usually, travelling across from one side of the country to the other and playing some tough, hard hockey.
It's some of these, it's very incredibly tough, incredibly fast, incredibly technical hockey, and these guys, they give it their all. I don't think any one of these guys left anything behind today. Whether it be in this game or the one before it, everybody gave it their all.
So the medal presentations will be happening very, very shortly as the players and officials gather their thoughts and gather in their respective positions. Now is a good opportunity to thank everybody with the coverage this weekend Tegan in Melbourne, she's been our eyes and ears all weekend, bringing you the coverage. The crew in the control room here, Michael Smith, the director, Mickey Holmes on the graphics, myself, Eric Brook, and alongside me, John D. It's been a great effort this weekend, crew.
And we've had an absolute great time bringing this to you, and we can't wait to do it all over again.
So the Sabres, the Victoria Sabres, gathered on their blue line. The Generals will be joining them shortly. The Generals know what it's like to lift the trophy.
They're no stranger to it, having done it the once before. Obviously, they'd have loved to have gone from fourth to first, won the big game, lifted that trophy. Fortunately, not to be today, not their year. Nothing stopping them with what they've come away with today, the experiences that they've earned and the things they've learnt this weekend. There's nothing to stop them coming back doing it again next year.
And what this also does for the teams who weren't on the ice, the spectating teams, the Sydney Wolfpack, the Brisbane Blitz, the Melbourne Glaciers and the Perth Sharks, this just gives them incentive, even if they've aged out, the particular players have aged out, gives the players behind them something to aim at next year.
And look, it absolutely sets a bar. It raises the level of hockey at that age division in this country, the sort of things we've seen this weekend.
So we're about to have the medal presentations, the traditional "We Are the Champions" playing in the background, as it rightly should.
As it should be. Strains of Freddie Mercury should be played in every event, in every building, ever. Look, it looks like we're going to have all 3 sets of medals.
So we're going to have our bronze medal presentation as well.
We'll see the return of the Wolfpack, which is always fun to see everybody get their medals.
We'll cross to ice level.
The 1920 AJIHL. And what an exciting series this has been. I'd like to thank a number of people and organisations. First of all, starting off with this fabulous ice house. I think everyone will agree this is an amazing facility. Thank you. Thank you, O'Brien Group. I'd also like to thank the on-ice officials.
We're about to see the Sydney Wolfpack receive their bronze medals from the earlier game after they defeated the Brisbane Blitz a little bit earlier on. Lots of silverware being handed out now, John D.
Plenty of medals, no shortage thereof, or in this case, bronzeware. Silverware will come in a little minute. But look, it's just been an amazing series. As the Commissioner and our announcers have all said, it's been one of the top series we've ever seen.
So congratulations to all of the award winners there. Jeremy Friedrich picking up Goal of the Year. Spectacular effort.
Quite rightly so.
Rightly so too. And Aleski Manier picked up not only the Rookie of the Year, but was also the leading the MVP, memory?
The highest point scorer. By the looks of things, having a quick look at our notes here. Yeah, so look, again, absolutely blinder of a season for that young man. I can imagine he'll be back next year, bigger, bolder, stronger, scoring faster. Lots of other moving and doing words.
The Sydney Wolfpack receiving their bronze medal. And this is a really, really good thing. Like, these guys would have hung around and watched the gold medal game, and to receive their medals at the same time as the other two teams is fantastic.
Look, I really like that. I'm really glad they don't give it out at the end of their game. They do all three tiers of medals together, so everybody feels included. I really like that.
I also like the idea of a bronze medal game as well.
Me too. Some people say it's unnecessary. I think it's necessary. I like it. In my opinion, apparently, it means a lot.
So we're about to have the presentation of the silver medals to the Adelaide Generals, beaten but certainly not disgraced in today's gold medal game.
Absolutely. Does that come any second now? Reluctantly, apparently. There we go. Yep, starting with Frederick. Good call. It's a young man with a very bright future in those nets.
And he's already got experience with the Adelaide Adrenaline in the AI as well. So,
absolutely, he does.
So, junior hockey translating to the more senior levels, and we also had the under-20s team, the Australian under-20s team, picking up silver in their World Championships as well. So massive congratulations for them for that as well.
Absolutely. And
this is one of the reasons why the AJ exists.
100% it is. And as we say, 13 of these players that have played in this series this weekend all featured in that team. So good job, guys.
So handshakes all round, and no doubt planning will start pretty soon for the behind the scenes for next AJ season.
Look, I imagine they'll take a day. They'll give themselves one day, and then they'll start again. And here we have the gold medalists any second now. Just as the silver medalists come past with the handshakes and fist bumps and various other congratulatory gestures.
And this is a really good thing as well. It doesn't matter what happens on the ice. You can go up to the guys at the end of the game. They'll probably hang out afterwards as well and just talk about things during the game. And so we're about to have our gold medal presentation as the Adelaide Generals receive their silver medals. And the Nathan Walker Trophy. Now, I wonder if that's going to get bigger each and every year as well. Like the Goodall Cup.
Or the Joe McCowan Trophy's undergoing itself a growth spurt this year as well. Look, it's going to have to. If we put in teams on it, the competition's going to continue. Those plates are going to need to go somewhere. Going back to back. Yep, captain there, captain.
Didn't he have a fantastic game as well, Sabres?
Absolute blinder of a game. Look, all these guys did. I mean, you'd be hard pressed to look at any one of these guys and go, you did nothing or you didn't work hard enough. They all did.
At both ends of the ice. But this is the Sabres moment. Some of the players would have been there last year as well. For some of the players, possibly their first season. And, you know, to get a championship in any national league is a massive achievement.
Absolutely, it is. As we just go through. And then we will see that moment where that trophy goes out and the guys will lift it, well deserved, and the celebrations will begin in earnest.
So also important to recognise all of the support staff behind the scenes. and there's lots of them, not just the ones that you can see on screen now, but across the league, across all the teams. There's so many volunteers that make competitions such as this happen. And so here's a fun fact for Sydney hockey fans in particular. The current hockey champions in Australia in the various competitions, in the Australian Ice Hockey League, Sydney Bears.
Australian Women's Ice Hockey League, Sydney Sirens.
Australian Junior Ice Hockey League, Sydney Sabres.
Good time to be a hockey fan if you live in Sydney.
Absolutely. So here we are, the Nathan Walker Trophy, of course, named after the first Australian to play in the NHL.
That's a big cup already. As you say, only going to keep getting bigger.
And so it's moments like this that really make hockey worthwhile. You know, it's a great goal to achieve. And if you're lucky enough to be on this stage and to receive these medals, to receive this trophy, consider yourself very fortunate that you've worked so hard to get to this point as well.
Oh, look, and at this point, watching all four of these games all week, it could have been anybody's trophy this weekend. Any one of these teams, under slightly different circumstances on that ice, could be coming away with this cup right now. There was no one team that you look at and go, well, look, you're just there to make up numbers. They all busted a proverbial to get there, and they all worked incredibly hard. And it's a credit to all the players, all the coaches, all the mums and dads that get the boys to training, everybody top to bottom.
When you think about that, it basically took until the last day of the regular season for the Generals to confirm their spot. The Perth Sharks just narrowly beaten in the end for that fourth and final spot.
The 2019-20 Australian Junior Ice Hockey League champions are the Sydney Sabres.
So here's the moment.
All class, hoisted by the goalie. Good job, guys.
So all the players will take their turn with the cup as they head off to the ice as repeat champions and consecutive back-to-back championships. And you know what that means, JD? They'll be looking for the three-peat next year.
They're absolutely going for that three-quarter next year. And look, if they do it, good on them. If they don't do it, good on whoever does win it.
So let the celebrations commence. The champions of the Australian Junior Ice Hockey League for the 2019-2020 season, the Sydney Sabres, celebrating with the Nathan Walker Trophy.
Look, it's going to be a big night for some of these boys.
So it's been a great weekend of Australian Junior Ice Hockey. We look forward to seeing what happens in the winter with the Australian Ice Hockey League, where many of these players will compete for the various teams around the league. On behalf of the whole crew, I've been Eric Brook, and it's been a pleasure bringing you this tournament, John D.
An absolute pleasure to be here. Great time had by all. Fantastic games. I'm sure everybody's enjoyed it. If you've only joined us for this one game, go back, check out the other three. It's been absolutely great.
And we'll see you next time. And here's the champions, the Sabres.